Scholars, Miss Keck here, ready for some Tier 3 RTI, focusing on reading comprehension today. I am super excited to be here with you and read some books and ask some questions. The only thing that you'll need today is this book called Magic Stone Soup from GetEpic.com. It is in your email, as well as you can go onto GetEpic.com and type in a Magic Stone Soup. Alrighty, scholars, take some time to pull that up, and you can pause the video now to pull up that text. Unpause the video when you're ready to jump in. Alrighty, scholars, let's get started. And before we begin today, I'm going to ask you a question. Scholars, how many of you have ever been lost before? I definitely have. I've been lost a couple of places, but found my way. So the book that we're reading today, the man in the story was lost and hungry. He met an old woman who had no food for him, so he played a trick on her. We're going to read about what happens, but first we're going to go through some sight words. Our sight words are popping up right here. We're going to go through them together. Our first one is eat. Say it, say it, say it. Awesome job, scholars. Our next one is, do you know it? You're right, it's gave. Say it, say it, say it. Awesome job, scholars. Our third sight word today is, you got it, it's got. Got. Say it, say it, say it. Awesome job. And our last word for today is with. Say it, say it, say it. Awesome job. Send yourself some shine. Alrighty, scholars. So while we're reading this book, you might see some words that you might not know. So we're going to practice decoding. So if I don't know a word, I'm going to ask myself, does that make sense when I read it? And then I'm going to read it faster and faster. I'm going to find the chunks that I know and ask myself, does that make sense? And then read it faster and faster to put those sounds together. So I see this word, part of the word right here that says hun. I see hun. I know this is un. That's a CVC word. Hun. Hun. Hungry. Hungry. Does that make sense? I know R-Y makes the rye sound. So hungry. 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 Does hungry make sense? Yes, it does. Hungry. So I decoded the word, I found chunks that I knew, and I said it faster and faster until it made sense. And then I asked myself, did that make sense? And it did. Awesome job, scholars. So now we're going to jump on into reading our book. You are going to read the book accurately and fluently, which means we read it quickly and we get the words right. You can pause the video now and start reading the book. Unpause the video when you're ready to continue with your comprehension questions. Awesome job, scholars, reading the book. We are now going to jump into our comprehension questions. Before we get started, we're going to remind ourselves to mine for evidence. Remember, when we mine for evidence, we find in the text where the answer is, so we can make sure that we're getting the right answer and can cite it in the text. Alrighty, scholars, let's jump on in. We're going to ask our first question, which is a factual question, which we can find right in the text. We can find it right in the text. Our first question is, here we go up here, is what is the first thing the old woman puts in the soup? What is the first thing the old woman puts in the soup? Find the evidence. Awesome job, scholars. Now tell me the answer. Tell me the answer. Awesome job, scholars. You got it right. Send yourself some shine. Now we're going to jump into an inferential question. An inferential question is when we use the text and the pictures and our knowledge to figure out what the answer is. Alrighty, so our question is, how does the old woman feel when the man comes to her house? How does the old woman feel when the man comes to her house? Find the evidence. Awesome job finding the evidence. Now tell Ms. Keck the answer. Amazing job, scholars. Send yourself some shine. You got that inferential question correct. Alrighty, scholars. Now we're going to talk, our last two questions are going to be critical thinking questions. That means we have to think about how the character developed throughout the story. Our first question is the magic stone really magic? Is the magic stone really magic? Find your evidence. Great job, scholars, finding the evidence. Now tell Ms. Keck the answer. Amazing job, scholars. You figured out the answer to that question by using your critical thinking skills. Alrighty, scholars, time for our last question of the day. Let's jump on in. This is another critical thinking question. So, how does the man trick the old lady? How does the man trick the old lady? Find your evidence. Awesome job finding your evidence. Now tell me the answer. Amazing job, scholars. Send yourself some shine. You did an amazing job today reading your book and finding the answers to those comprehension questions and mining for evidence. Send yourself some shine. And you did an amazing job today, and I will see you next time. Bye, scholars.